basketball. Number 1, first flow. Basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court, just like I'm looking on the microphone. So it's Dr. J.
And they get it to Jordan coming off the screen. Pass Curry, nice inside, and he punches it down right over Mourning. Oh my goodness, what a finish! Hello and welcome everyone to Chicago, Illinois. Tonight we rewind the early 90s for a contest between two of the most exciting teams of that era. The brash and aggressive young Charlotte Hornets taking on the preeminent team in the NBA, the Chicago Bulls.
And the Hornets, a relative newcomer, both the franchise, which was started in 1988, and the players. They led this team to its first ever playoff appearance in '93, making it to the second round.
They look to knock off a team in the Chicago Bulls that we find in the midst of its first championship three-peat, a powerhouse ball club if ever you saw one.
And as always, this Bulls team revolves around the Hall of Fame talents of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen at shooting guard and small forward, respectively.
But if the Hornets are to find an edge in this one, it would have to be on their front line, with the athletic and imposing combination of Larry Johnson at power forward and Alonzo Mourning at center. They'll need to have big games if the Hornets are going to win this one.
And as we look at this Bulls team, of course, we mentioned Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, the 6'2" B.J. Armstrong at point guard. And up front, Horace Grant and their center, Bill Cartwright. The lineup for the Hornets, 5'3" Muggsy Bogues running the show at the point guard. Kendall Gill in at the shooting guard. Springate in at the 3, the small forward. And their talented young front court tandem, Larry Johnson out of UNLV and Alonzo Mourning out of Georgetown. Now, guys, if you were trying to, in a nutshell, describe what made Jordan so special, what would you say?
Well, a lot of attributes. I mean, his competitive spirit, his unique physical gifts. I mean, the guy was a tremendous basketball player. You add on top of that, tremendous athleticism as well. He's a guy who could jump. He was strong. Tremendous drive and focus. I just think it was his combination of basketball skill and athletic excellence.
And the fact that he was just so driven. I mean, you touched on it, Clark, but that guy wanted to win more than anything else in his life, and he approached every single day as a competition, and he drove himself and his teammates so hard that he just elevated everybody to new heights.
And again, no good by Chicago.
Still scoreless after 4 attempts, trying to take the lid off the basket.
High post shot, Bogues, good.
I got to give it up to Muggsy. I mean, standing as small as he did, he just was so effective out there and a great defensive player.
You know what? Even as a bigger guy myself, you got to have tremendous respect for Muggsy. I mean, he was so strong for his size that his height almost was an afterthought.
He passes to Gill. Shot, high post. Rebound by the Bulls.
And those are the kinds of plays right there that got Scottie Pippen named to the all-defensive team in the NBA for 8 consecutive seasons. Well, you get used to seeing those passes from Scottie Pippen. He really epitomized that point-forward role.
Deflects the pass. An easy 2 points on the layup.
Muggsy was always so adept at finding those gaps in the defense, spreading the ball around. He's one of the NBA's top 20 all-time assist leaders. Now, B.J. Armstrong, 6'2" shooter, grew up in Detroit, and the 18th overall pick by the Bulls in the 1989 draft. He was the starting point guard in the 92-93 season and a reserve before that.
Oh, Larry Johnson at 6'7" and incredibly strong. He was a ferocious dunker. He dented a rim or two over the years.
Armstrong against Bogues. Grant is guarded by Johnson. Jordan the pass to Pippen. Armstrong. Jordan kicks to Grant. 5 to shoot. Back to Jordan.
That's a great steal there by Kendall Gill. Those are the quick hands he used to lead the league in steals.
Scottie Pippen grabs the miss.
You know, talking about B.J. Armstrong.
And then slammed in by Jordan.
Yeah, you know the fans love that, guys. Michael could give them what they love. The 2 times he won the slam dunk contest in '87 and '88, he absolutely brought the house down.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hornets. Gaddison, he's checked in for Mourning. And Newman subbed in for Wingate. Hornets leading by 6. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. And that one's good. Gill. He has 6.
Man, that's a pretty dime. I mean, I love to see them working inside like that.
Jordan. No one on him, and he makes the easy one.
Well, you've got to get the ball out of his hands, bring an extra defender, and force somebody else to beat you.
I agree with you. Make him give it up.
Here's Bowes. Passes it to Johnson. Grant on him. And the big slam for Larry Johnson.
Wow, look how quick he flashes to the rim there for the dunk.
Here's Jordan, and the Bulls tack on 2 more.
So many things that this guy can do with the ball.
The basket's coming early and often in the first quarter. Hornets on top, leading by 6.
And a good start for this club. I like the way they played together, really moved the ball and did a nice job.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up.
Well, Michael Jordan, there's not much you can say about him that hasn't already been said. I mean, you won't get much argument naming him the best player of all time. Great athletically and in terms of basketball skills. Some would say the greatest in any sport, 6 titles, and the most decorated player in NBA history.
Michael Jordan is out there at B.J. Armstrong. Then it's Cartwright, then there's Grant, and it's Pippen in at the 3, the small forward. That's the Bulls 5 as we get into the second quarter. Lets it go with the 3. Curry knocks down the long-range bomb.
They just lost him on the break that time defensively. I mean, he slid out to the 3-point line and had plenty of room.
From deep, Jordan. Shot is off. And the Hornets now going the other way. Well, Jordan said he didn't believe in a single greatest player. He said that each era had its own greatest player. That the ones that had gone before him had made what he achieved possible.
And I think that there's some truth to that, guys, because it's so difficult to compare players of different eras. And yet, I think we'd all agree that Michael was the best. I mean, he was probably the greatest player of all time, and I haven't met many people who would disagree with that.
Here's Armstrong, still looking to get on the scoreboard. With the shot. Hornets with the rebound. Johnson's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Here's Bennett. He's covered by Armstrong. And plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up.
The Hornets were a very tough opponent for the Bulls won the season series, but it was close. It was 3-2.
Yeah, and Charlotte matched up really well with them, guys. It was very much a strength-on-strength situation. I mean, the Hornets had pieces in all the right places to take on the Bulls and give them trouble during that season.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hornets. Morning comes in for Gaddison, and it's Green in for Johnson.
You know, from out there, guys, Scotty was never really the best shooter in the world. Less than 33% from three-point range all time.
Jacks up a 3. Curry can't get it to go. Bulls trail by 9. Jordan's shot is off. Here's Bennett, guarded by Pippen. 3-pointer. Shot is off. So the Bulls will take it the other way.
And Jordan was no slouch as a rebounder. I mean, over 6 per game was his career average.
Now, B.J. Armstrong went to work in the Bulls front office upon retirement, but he's since gone into the agent business. In fact, he represents Derrick Rose.
And, you know, for B.J. Armstrong, it's about trying to help younger players, whether it's on the court or off the court. I think that's one of his great qualities, the fact that he wants to see young players succeed.
Here's Curry, hits the 15-footer. Curry's got 5 points now this quarter.
He's making it look easy scoring out there because he's much more efficient here in the second.
And Jordan drains the fadeaway.
That's what Michael Jordan does best. Put the ball in the basket. In fact, 10 times he led the NBA in scoring. Nobody's ever even come close to that.
Bennett. Here's the triple. Curry can't get it to go.
And that Jordan defense earned him a rare distinction. He's one of only 2 players to be named MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same season. That came after the 87-88 season.
Well, I know what it was like to play with Jordan, but Clark, what were your impressions of playing against him?
Well, I didn't have to go head-to-head with him too much, but I didn't hear him talk a whole lot. I knew he was extremely competitive and a big-time point producer That's for sure. I didn't get the wrath of his trash talking because...
Boom! And nobody getting in the way.
Not at all. Major throw down there. Slamming it home off the alley-oop. Remarkable.
Well, his eyes got wide as he went up for that one.
And he timed his leap perfectly to meet the pass at the top of its arc.
Armstrong gets the bucket.
You know, a lot of people didn't really talk about Michael Jordan's passing. In fact, early in his career, he was considered a selfish player, but he learned to trust his teammates and went on to average more than...
Now that's a special order right there.
Not everybody can camp off a dunk like that.
Yeah, very difficult maneuver, but a tremendous one if you can pull it off.
Steve, you were one of the fortunate few who played with Michael Jordan. How was he as a teammate?
Well, Clark, he was incredibly demanding. I mean, he was such a leader, and he drove everyone so hard in practice on a daily basis. And it was not easy. I mean, he would get on you if he didn't think you were bringing it. So he really forced everybody to lift the level of their game.
That's now 7 straight for them coming from fast breaks.
Just making it look easy out there the way they're running.
Deflected.
That's just horrible decision. You got to be more patient with the ball.
Curry, good. Curry's got 7 points in the game.
And that steal led to that easy transition basket.
You know, Steve, they've got those guys reeling a little bit right now.
And 3 from Jordan. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. And that does it for the first half of play. Hornets lead by 9.